A century, 100 years of worship on the same special piece of ground, growing in parallel with the new model city. From a half-acre lot to a full city block and beyond, of messages and music, births and baptisms, the congregation of First Baptist Church of Kingsport has written its history on the circle in the heart of the city. Loving God and loving people, bridging generations. This is some of that story. Kingsport is a brand new model city, and there's a brand new Baptist church in town. In 1919, First Baptist Church called Reverend S.B. Ogle as its second pastor. Ogle was a passionate advocate for his congregation and used the opportunity of the city's young newspaper to great effect. He also promoted the church in an extremely well-written pamphlet published on the church's 5th anniversary. A copy is in our history room. The pastor cared for and encouraged his young flock. Early on, music became an integral part of worship for the new congregation. Doc Clifford's son Howard organized a choir upon his arrival in Kingsport in 1919. He remained its director on a volunteer basis for 30 years. For evening services, special music was provided by a male quartet composed of the pastor, a lawyer, and 2 physicians. New Sunday school classes kept springing up. With great reluctance, Pastor Ogle accepted a call in 1923 from a much larger church in West Virginia. Members of First Baptist Church were sorry to see him go, and even though Ogle's passionate nature got him into personal trouble later, he was remembered fondly by the membership here. Dr. J.K. Haynes was the next pastor, but remained here less than a year, accepting a call from a church in Knoxville. Dr. Sam Martin came to First Baptist in 1925 and saw overflowing worship service crowds and new neighborhoods being built at the edges of town. In 1927, the church established a mission in Oakdale, or Borden Mill Village. This would later become Calvary Baptist Church. Although the original First Baptist Church building was only 10 years old, by 1927 it was already too small to accommodate the crowds of worshipers. Membership had increased from 91 members at the end of 1917 to over 500. Pastor Sam Martin persuaded the congregation that it was time to expand. The church hired architect Wellington Wallace from the Home Mission Board to design a new building. His design was quite a departure from the original building's Gothic architecture, which matched the train station and older buildings along Main Street. The new structure would be a neoclassic design, which would soon harmonize with the other churches around the circle to form a park-like setting. Wallace found a way to use much of the original building, orienting a new sanctuary toward the circle and surrounding the heart of the old structure with Sunday school wings. The old sanctuary would be transformed into the assembly room for adult Sunday school. Ground was broken in February of 1927. The old towers and Holston Street entrance would be demolished to make way for the new building. The cornerstone was set into place, and a full day of meetings and celebrations marked the opening day Sunday on October 30th. With the new sanctuary seating nearly 900 people and a massive exposure along Sullivan Street, which was then the route for 2 U.S. highways, First Baptist Church was a dominant force in the model city. Large crowds attended the new building. A few months later, installation of Kingsport's first pipe organ was completed, and First Baptist Church was the go-to place for all sorts of community musical events. Kathleen Morton served as the first organist, a position she held for 21 years. The next year, Dr. Martin was called to a large church in Newport, Kentucky. Reverend D. Edgar Allen became First Baptist's 5th pastor later in 1928. Next time on First Baptist Church of Kingsport, the first 100 years. The church has an impressive new building to accommodate the city's increased population, but the rapidly growing membership must find ways to work in harmony, and what to do with the new neighborhoods popping up on the edges of town.